Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my podcast, Celia's Serene Earth, where we talk about everything climate change. We are going to start off by winding our clocks back exactly a year ago to last March, and that's when the first real lockdown and quarantine started due to the coronavirus. Luckily, I was able to quarantine in my beautiful hometown of Larchmont, New York, which is located right on the Long Island Sound. Larchmont is in Westchester, New York, and is a suburb of New York City, which is about a 30-minute drive away. The town is rich with history, and the shoreline is the place to be. Big houses with large expansive lawns, beach and boating clubs, and town parks and beaches lie in the calm water of the Sound. When you look out, you can see Long Island not too far away, and if you are out on the water, you can sail right into New York City. The Sound is perfect for sailing and other water activities such as tubing and water skiing, so you will always see people out on the water. To take you guys with me, we are going to go how my family always rides to the Sound, which is on a little bike ride. Let's go. I always went on these bike rides last spring with my little sister Bryn, so I brought her to join us. Hi, Bryn.
Hi.
What's your favorite thing about biking to Larchmont Park?
I love getting a chance to go out in the outdoors, and it's a very nice park with pretty gazebos and lots of fun rocks to climb on, and it's also right on the Sound, and it's very pretty and nice there.
Why is protecting Larchmont's coastlines important to you?
I really appreciate my time spent at the park, and I think that it's a very popular spot in our place. And if we didn't protect the coastlines, then it would not be the same. And I think it's important that we keep it clean, and so that everyone can use it and it can stay pretty like it currently is.
Are you worried about how sea level rise is going to affect our town?
I think because so much of our town is near the water, if the water level does rise, then it will definitely have a big effect on our town and all the houses and the parks on the water. So I am worried about that, because if that happens, that would be really sad.
Okay, thank you, Bryn, so much for hopping on. So, Bryn is correct. Since Larchmont is on the water, its ability to be affected by storms and flooding is much higher than other places. Sea level rise is occurring all over the world due to the icebergs melting, along with the enhanced greenhouse gas effect causing water expansion. Some places, such as the Northeast, will probably see more sea level rise than other locations. The Connecticut Institute for Resilience and Climate Adaptation recommends planning for a sea level rise of about 0.5 meters or 20 inches above the present national tidal datum in the Long Island Sound by 2050. Sea level rise is going to hurt Larchmont because of its ability to flood and destroy homes and other properties, such as Larchmont Manor Park that we were talking about before. Along with sea level rise, Larchmont will also experience stronger storms due to climate change. Although a singular weather event, like Hurricane Sandy, isn't enough to prove climate change is real, there is more likely to be stronger storms with Earth's rising temperatures. These storms erode the coastlines and can cause millions of dollars in damage to infrastructure. We know that sea level rise and more severe storms will greatly affect Larchmont due to the damage that has already been done over the past few years and our knowledge that the average temperature of the Earth will continue to rise due to the enhanced greenhouse gas effect, even if we stopped carbon dioxide emissions completely right now. My strategy to fight damage done to my town by climate change is turning our hardened shorelines into living shorelines through coastal wetland restoration, which is an adaptation strategy. The easiest way to adapt to sea level rising and flooding from stronger storms is to strengthen our coastlines. Over the past 200 years, an estimated 25 to 35% of the Long Island Sound's tidal wetlands were destroyed by human activity. Dredging to create marinas and shipping lanes, filling wetlands to create roads, or other developments have destroyed natural wetlands. Sea level rising has also hurt these wetlands, having the ability to drown the marshes and put them completely underwater. For climate change, the most important purpose of wetlands is their ability to fight flood and wave damage and erosion of the coast. As storm surges move through the wetlands, the plants take up a lot of the water's energy. Think of the wetlands as a defense wall against waves. This lowers the damage that is done to the coast, including damage done to houses and infrastructure. Salt marshes' ability to obtain water also helps prevent flood damage. Wetlands are also vital for ecosystems, as they provide spawning and nursery habitats for numerous fish species. Herons, ducks, and egrets also call salt marshes home. Over 40 kinds of plants and animals are threatened or endangered by the loss of salt marshes. The Tidal Wetland Act was the first law in New York State passed in 1977 to protect wetlands, and many existing ones have been protected since then under the law. However, there are some wetlands, such as the Pryor Manor Marsh in Larchmont, that have been destroyed by human activity. The marsh was drained for the nearby houses and infrastructure, and they were built around it so that salt water couldn't come in. This led to the marsh to be filled with fresh water rather than its normal saltwater habitat, changing the animals and plants that live in the marsh and also hurting its ability to fight against storms and floods. Removing the invasive species, planting back in the native plants, and creating valves to help it become a tidal wetland will restore the wetland and its ability to fight against flood and storm surges in Larchmont. Not all wetlands need to be restored in the same way. Wetlands destroyed by sea level rise will need biodegradable logs and mats that raise their elevations. Some need their man made drainage systems to be plugged so that they can retain water again. No matter what the strategy is to restore the wetlands, they're all vital to the health of our coastlines. In Stratford Point, Connecticut, cement balls were placed in the sound to help fight wave erosion as they replanted native wetland grasses. This new wetland will help their town fight against climate change and is an example of an effective implementation of planting wetlands to revive the coast. Work has been done in Larchmont already to protect wetlands that are still thriving. However, little has been done, to my knowledge, to revive wetlands that have been destroyed. Both of these actions are vital to our fight against sea level rise and stronger storms. Reviving wetlands is not an easy task. First, it takes people who are aware and care about their importance, and then it takes a good amount of money, time, and volunteers to get the work done. However difficult it is, we cannot completely reverse what we've already done and continue to do to change the temperature of this planet, so we have to find ways to adapt to sea level rise and more severe storms. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast today. I hope you learned a little bit about living shorelines and using them to help fight against the changes to our Earth from climate change.